The Dead is short for All Souls Day. It means where all souls go in the afterlife, because Hispanics believe people do not die but continue to live in a special rest place called Bicatina. In this place, all souls rest until the day comes when they can return home to visit their loved ones. And on the Day of the Dead, it is not always sad. It is where 2 days of honor and memory come. The first day is to honor dead children, and the second is to honor the memory of dead adults. After they go back, after they go back to that person's home, and they eat all the foods that they like. So the whole point is to honor the family.
Day of the Dead is celebrated for their deceased loved ones and loving rituals full of joy and remembrance.
People celebrate Day of the Dead to honor their deceased loved ones. It is a loving ritual full of joy and remembrance. Day of the Dead allows the people to live again. During this time, it is believed that the deceased return to their earthly homes to visit and rejoice with their loved ones. The Days of the Dead are celebrated as a way of retaining connections with the unseen world we will all return to one day.
Why they celebrate the Day of the Dead is because to celebrate the ancestors that have died.
Day of the Dead was originated 4,000 years ago in Mexico. The holiday is a mix between pre-Hispanic beliefs and Spanish Catholic beliefs. For Day of the Dead, people spend more money on that holiday than any other holiday in Mexico. Day of the Dead is celebrated the 1st and 2nd of November.
Day of the Dead celebrations are for what people believe in. People who celebrate Day of the Dead celebrates it almost every 1st of November to the end of October. Dia de los Muertos is celebrated throughout Day of the Dead. A lot of people celebrate Day of the Dead. There are lots of creations that you can make, like the following: sugar skulls, altars, pan de muerto, and papal picado. Day of the Dead has food like some kinds of bread and meats. The most people who celebrate Day of the Dead is mostly Mexicans. Day of the Dead is celebrated in homes or wide space. People who celebrate Day of the Dead wear skulls and symbols in bright colors. People eat some kinds of bread and meats because it's a tradition of Day of the Dead. People make skulls because it's a tradition.
Why do people celebrate this holiday? To honor our dead loved ones, to say thanks to their lost loved ones of their family, to remember all people lost within the year. When do we celebrate it? We celebrate Day of the Dead on the 31st of October and 1st and 2nd of November. It used to be all month, but now it's just the end of the month. We celebrate this holiday in Mexico. We celebrate this holiday here because it was created here.
Mexicans celebrate Day of the Dead because they believe that if you celebrate other people's deaths, their spirits will come beyond the grave. The Day of the Dead celebration starts on October 31st through November 3rd. The first day is celebrating the dead children and infants. The second day is to celebrate the deceased adults. The reason people dress like skeletons is because they believe that if you dress like the spirits will think you are one of them. On the days of Day of the Dead, they eat certain meats and breads. They do not want to forget their loved ones. If they do, they will be ill and soon reach their death.
Day of the Dead is to honor the ones that have died. It is also one of Mexico's important holidays, which means they put a lot of time and money into celebrating Day of the Dead. The kinds of foods that they eat at Day of the Dead is sugar skulls. The reason why they eat sugar skulls is to honor the ones who have died because they have liked those types of foods.
In homes, people create altars to honor their loved ones who have died. People put flowers, photos, foods, and drinks on the gravestones. These offerings are meant to attract the dead so the dead can be with their loved ones on earth.
Day of the Dead is celebrated as a time for people to visit graves
of their family members and friends who have left the earth or passed away, to leave flowers and to reconnect with their loved ones.
Altars. Families make altars by surrounding the dead person with frames and with foods that they like. For example, bananas, oranges, apples, and grapes, and sometimes they even put vases with flowers in it.
They celebrate at their graves. They have musicians who play songs that people liked when they was alive. They tell stories about the person that died.
The Day of the Dead is celebrated in homes and graveyards, but in homes people create altars to honor their deceased loved ones.
They thought in order to save the kids, they would dress them up and disguise them so they wouldn't get hurt.
The Day of the Dead is a goddess named Mentika Ki-Wedo, or Lady of the Dead. She represents deceased children and adults. Mentika Ki-Wedo is queen of the underworld, ruling over the afterlife. Her role is to keep watch over the bones of the dead. Mentika Ki-Wedo is represented as a defleshed body with a jaw gaped to swallow the stars during the day. She is known as Lady of the Dead because it is believed that she was born, then sacrificed as an infant.
The basic job which Mentika Ki-Wedo has is to watch over the bones of the dead, because of the bones of the dead from past worlds were used to create the first humans of this world. It's possible the bones of this form from this world will at some point be needed to create people in some future world. This is why they would have to be carefully guarded, but like the bones from past worlds, they will probably have to be stolen in order to be used.
Sugar skulls are called Calvares de Azucar in Spanish. These sugary sweets are sold everywhere on the days and weeks leading up to the Day of the Dead. Market stalls are lined with rows and rows of colorful skulls created from sugar and decorated with multi-colored icing, shiny foil, sequins, and glitter all over the skulls.
People celebrated Day of the Dead with the unseen world. They make sugar skulls. The sugar skulls stand for departed souls to particular spirits. Sugar skulls represent folk art.
They make sugar skulls for the Day of the Dead. They have chocolate sugar skulls. Candy makers make sugar skulls